My name is Miranda, and welcome to my book talk, my very first book talk. The subject is going to be The Hate You Give by Angie Thomas. This book was published very recently in 2017. It's, I think, an especially impressive book because it's Angie Thomas's debut novel. And before it was even truly released to the public, it was already receiving a positive criticism. Already had received a movie deal. So clearly this book is getting a lot of attention, and I think that's for good reason. It focuses on a teenager named Star who lives in Garden Heights, which she describes herself as the ghetto, but she travels to a local suburban private school in a predominantly white community. She explains how she feels pulled between these two different communities, where when she's at school, she feels like she needs to be white Star and fit in with those friends. And she also needs to act differently when she's at home in Garden Heights around her family and black friends. And so it's coming of age. It's her trying to figure out exactly who she is. And so that's very standard in YA. But it quickly takes a turn when she leaves a party with her childhood friend named Khalil, and during a routine traffic stop, he is killed by a police officer. And from that point, the book focuses on the aftermath for both Star and her community and how they deal with this incident. Before this happened, Star kept a blog, and she had tried in her own way to speak out about injustices against minorities. But for the first time, she's forced to take an active role. She can't be a bystander anymore. She has seen something horrible happen, and as the only witness to this crime, she feels she has to speak out. And that leads me to one of my favorite passages of this book, as Star is realizing that she has to play an active role in this and that she can't be a bystander any longer. And it's on page 289, and she's speaking out publicly for the first time in a national news interview. The quote begins, "Mrs. Carey gives me Kleenex and a moment to get myself together. Has this situation made you fearful of cops?" she eventually asks. "I don't know," I say truthfully. "My uncle's a cop. I know not all cops are bad, and they risk their lives, you know. I'm always scared for my uncle, but I'm tired of them assuming, especially when it comes to black people." "You wish that more cops wouldn't make assumptions about black people," she clarifies. "Right. This all happened because he, I can't say his name, assumed that we were up to no good, because we're black and because of where we live. We were just two kids minding our business, you know. His assumption killed Khalil. It could have killed me. A kick straight to the ribs. If Officer Cruz were sitting here," Mrs. Carey says, "what would you say to him?" I blink several times. My mouth waters, but I swallow. No way I'm going to let myself cry or throw up thinking about that man. If he were sitting here, I don't have enough black Jesus in me to tell him I forgive him. Instead, I'd probably punch him, straight up. But Ms. Ofra says this interview is the way I fight. When you fight, you put yourself out there, not caring who you hurt or if you'll get hurt. So I throw one more blow right at 115. I'd ask him if he wished he shot me too. I love this quote. I love that it's seeking to show young adults the power that they have to be social activists and to make a change. I think this book is so important in light of the Black Lives Matter movement. It's rare that you get a young adult book that is so relevant to a current event. Current events are constantly changing. That's what makes them current. But this is something that America is going through right now. And so I think this book is incredibly powerful in the hands of young adults. I think there's a misconception that young adults aren't interested in what's going on, that they don't care about bad things happening, that they don't want to make a difference, especially in light of the Never Again movement that was started by young adults who survived the shooting in Parkland, Florida. I think this book shows that that's just not the case, that young adults are at the forefront of these issues of wanting to make change and being social activists. I truly just can't say enough good things about this book. I'd give it 100 thumbs up if I could. If you haven't already, you should definitely read it. That closes this book talk. Thank you very much.